If you want to get more views and grow faster on YouTube, you need to fix your thumbnails. 80% of success of your YouTube video is combination of great looking and click-worthy thumbnail plus intriguing title. Goal of every thumbnail on YouTube is not about being pretty, it's not about being beautiful, it's all about being click-worthy. If person doesn't click on your video, it doesn't matter how many hours you invest in content production, in video production itself. That's kinda stupid. If you want to get views, you're making everything to not getting these views. For example, using not the right font on your image. So that's why you need to use different approach. It's not about creating an art which you must place in the art gallery where viewers will spend hours observing, watching and learning details about your thumbnail. So right now, as you can see, we're located in Mr. Beast section. All thumbnails that reached 1000 million hundreds views are located. Completely unique approach how to connect Rumble Genie plus Shredder, and you can see it's beautiful. A Russian person is trying to make jokes about being French. Wow. I am Evgeny Maximov and I run content creation agency, and right now we're growing 7 YouTube channels in different niches for small business owners and online experts. I've designed and published, I think, more than 2000 thumbnails for YouTube. I started with terrible one when you have just a screenshot from the game and a number with a glow effect. And right now you can see these thumbnails that I've designed for my channel and for my clients. Let's dive deeper into tactical tips that you need to implement right now. First one, you need to check your competitors and make the reference list. Before launching any new YouTube channel in completely new niche where I didn't work before, my team collect list of references, and we have this spreadsheet with at least 25 references, different videos from the same niche, from the same topic or several topics, and we collect both title, thumbnail and amount of views. Every single niche works differently and they all have different key phrases and trigger words or trigger phrases. The same applies to a thumbnail creation. One of the client's spreadsheets on the screen right now, so you can see firstly we have list of our references, of channel references, and we start gathering ideas and gathering thumbnails from these channels. This channel was in online marketing and building online business niche, and our competitors are Alex Hormozy, Russell Brunson and all other guys who are speaking about sales, marketing and building a business. At the beginning we collect 25 references just to get an idea about trigger phrases and about trigger elements on our thumbnail. And I've spent around an hour just analyzing these thumbnails, what they are placing in on this photo, on this image. And you can see I've color coded different elements, and we can find a pattern in this building a business niche that's okay to implement a lot of money from 0 to 1 million. Here's how I earned $5 million on my bank account in 30 days. That's okay to show face with emotions, to show the paths that it's so easy to do. We can use arrows, so again from 0 to 1 million, or for example in 30 days, and showing the exact number. Red arrow is must have in every niche, and you can just implement red arrow on your thumbnails and you will get more views. Guaranteed. That's great to show before and after. For example, you can see that month 1, month 4, and we used these principles when we start creating our thumbnails. That's totally fine to copy paste elements from your competitors, because again, if this works, still what works. At the beginning you don't need to think about creating something unique, something like, oh, that's so creative, because this will lead to 0 views. Because repetition and using the same common elements will help you get new audience that don't know you yet. So a few minutes ago I've said about triggers, and I can create a dedicated video about these triggers, because you have common triggers that applies in every niche, for example red arrow, and you have triggers for specific niches, but again they have the same patterns. So if you want to watch it, subscribe on the channel, and let's move on the next point. Next one is simple one. Don't put a lot of details and make your objects big on your thumbnail. If you want to place yourself on your thumbnail, don't use like the whole body. Everything that below our shoulders is useless information, because usually we need to show emotion and our hands, like directing somewhere. That's all. If you're placing text, make this text bold and big, but we will speak about it a little bit later. On every thumbnail, you need to have one or two big elements, and that's all. Everything doesn't matter, and you can just delete it, wipe it out. Speaking about words, I see a lot of thumbnails where you just place 5 sentences on my thumbnail. Yeah, that works really great. And you will have like really small font, you have really huge amount of text, and it's not readable. Again, keep in mind that most of your watch traffic came from mobile phones. If you design your thumbnail on a big screen, for example on your laptop, person will see a version at 10% scale. If you want to put words on your thumbnails, use 5-6 words maximum. Alex Hormozy did a great job with this, just 3-5 bold words, like do the fucking work. Yeah, that's all. One exception, if you have series of videos with the same purpose and with the same information, for example, review of something, that's okay if you just tweak like one title and tweak the photo. For these clients, 3 Delfina Club, so they are building kids swimming pools, really complicated niche, and they created 9 short videos about the pool that located on this specific address. Purpose of these videos is not about getting organic views on YouTube, it's about placing on the maps on the website. So we used just the same template, we changed the address and changed the photo, and that's all basically, and all other elements are the same. And that's okay to place a lot of text simply because we can't fix the address of the location. Next several points are really easy to implement. It's firstly, use glow effect or shadows on your main subject and text layers. You need to separate your main object from the background and make it pop. If you have non-contrast image, it will be hard to capture the attention. So that's why we usually have accent color, or vivid blue, or vivid green, or vivid red, purple color. You can check my YouTube channel and you can see I've posted a lot of videos and I created a lot of thumbnails with this glow effect. That's part of my style because I like to use a lot of neon color bulbs. For clients that has specific brand book where they describe the colors that they're using, we are using close to this brand book colors. For example, Tvoisklad, business that builds self-storage warehouses, their main color, accent color, is green, and we use this green color on their thumbnails. So we separated our main object and it's time to work with our background. I don't recommend you to just fill this space with one color. You can use or gradient color with slightly different colors, but again you can see the difference, or just work with background from the image with your main object. When I created my own thumbnails, I'm using for a background my background, actual background, and I fill it with specific color with special blending mode. I just fill with dedicated specific color to again create color contrast. I'm using red glow and I will use blue color to fill my background because it's a great color contrast. Contrast. Next point about our background, don't use background with a lot of details. As I said, person will see really scaled down version of our thumbnail and person can't read all these details. Here is 2 ways. First one, work with your background, for example, add additional blur, add additional color fill, as I said a little bit earlier, I hate this word, or find additional big element on this background. One of my clients is real estate agency and we are creating reviews of the property itself, and we are using a lot of different renders from the websites. I usually show the building or show the coast where you can see like blue water to make connections that okay, this property is located near the sea. You can see these last 10 thumbnails, and for example comparing with this one, old versions looks ugly and I didn't create them, this was previous YouTube manager. Comparing just YouTube analytics, these thumbnails have 10-12% click-through rate, sometimes even 15% click-through rate. It doesn't matter which language do you use, if you just copy-paste these principles, you will see huge boost. Next point, show emotions to attract attention. Again, just check Mr. Beast video. On every thumbnail he has or crazy face like, oh, holy crap, what's going on? Or a really excited face or really scary face. It works better comparing with just that's boring. That's not interesting face. Especially if you're a beginner creator and you don't have huge audience, huge following, your face is something that people don't know. That's okay for Alex Hormozy to have this boring face, but he has 2 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. His face is recognizable already, and that's the time where your face is your brand assets and you need to put your face because it attracts more attention. For example, with using just a stock image of the office guy who is happy about his work. Don't forget about the hands directing to something, for example, $1 million, a lot of views, all this stuff. Next one, proper text with the contrast. Again, as I said, use specific fonts. They are on the screen. That's really great fonts that I use, and they are really great and readable on your thumbnail. Don't use these old-fashioned Times New Roman style fonts on your thumbnail with a lot of details, with really thin lines, because it's not readable. And additional problem, if you just put white text on your thumbnail, it won't be readable. Here is easy solution, just to put a specific color rectangular, which will separate your text from the background. And again, as I said, on our clients, we use this all the time, and we match them with style of the brand. If you want to show your face, sometimes there is a problem that you don't have materials to put on your thumbnails because you didn't shoot a photo for your thumbnails. If you don't have production checklist, create production checklist and implement the point that you need to shoot or before you're shooting or after you're shooting. You need to take photos for your thumbnails. I recommend to take photos, but sometimes it's not so great, it's not so comfortable to make, especially if you're alone and you need to somehow reach it's manual focus, autofocus, which doesn't work, so it's complicated. So that's why, just to make it easier, just turn on the video recording and just do all these weird activities, play with your emotions, play with your hands, and you will have a lot of footage for your future thumbnails. If you just spend 1 minute playing with your emotions and with your hands, you will get more than like 10, 20, 30 good frames that you can use on your thumbnail. And collect all photos and videos for your thumbnails in one specific folder and just reuse them. That's totally fine if you use the photos that were made 2 years ago. I do this all the time. Next point is about data, and you need to check your click-through rate. You need to understand how your thumbnail performs, and you can do this just checking the number. And that's totally fine if you create a new version, a new thumbnail, and just upload it. And especially right now you have A/B testing of your thumbnails, and you can get additional insights about your performance of your thumbnail and how it connects with the watch time. But keep in mind that if you are a beginner, if you are not established creator, I need to drink water. What I have noticed, if your videos start getting much more views compared with your previous videos, probably your click-through rate will drop down. For example, you had 8% click-through rate and right now it will be closer to like 3 or 4%. That's okay because you're getting much more impressions for a completely new audience. Someone doesn't click because it's not interesting topic, it's not so relevant for them to watch this video. That's why you need to think about amount of impressions and click-through rate that you are getting from these impressions. Last tip is more about mindset shift. Again, as I said at the beginning, your thumbnail, it's not about being pretty, it's about being click-worthy. I saw a lot of beginner creators, they bought a service, they hire a designer, part-time contractor that creates thumbnails which are not suitable for YouTube. Creating a cover for music album, creating a banner for a Marvel movie, and creating YouTube thumbnails, that's completely different games with completely different rules. And if you implement all these tips that I mentioned, you will get really great working thumbnail, and you even don't need to hire a designer to do this, especially if you create a bunch of templates that you just copy paste, and to make it work, again, return to the very first point about creating list of references, because all thumbnails have something in common. I found and developed stupidly simple template that you can just steal, make a copy paste and implement it on your YouTube channel, and you will get really high click-through rate, 8, 10, sometimes even 15% click-through rate using this structure. And I reveal it in this video, which is located on my face right now, and you must steal it. So I don't say goodbye to you, Evgeny Maximov, and I will see you there.